Welcome back to Keep It Good. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm your host, Carly. So today we have a surprise guest. Over the summer, we did a little competition on our Instagram, for those of you who don't follow us on Instagram, and it was our Listener's Choice Awards. So our Listener's Choice Awards winner is our very good friend, Sara. Welcome, Sara.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
This was very brave of you. Not many participants signed up for the challenge, but you went above and beyond, our ultimate hype girl, and you are the grand winner. So I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah, this was always something I've been interested in and wanted to kind of dip my toe in and see if it was something that I might want to pursue or try, and we'll see.
I love it.
We're so happy to have you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So when we first sat down with Sara to kind of brainstorm, she was like, I don't really think I have anything to offer. But when you get to know Sara, you know that she has an incredible love story, unorthodox, not your average path, but I think it's very relatable. And I think it's going to touch a lot of people's, perspectives that are not the average. You meet your husband in high school and you've been together ever since, right? So we're very excited because we just celebrated Sara's wedding. Yay. It was like the best wedding I've ever attended. And
Yes.
Thank you.
it was like I was more excited for her wedding than my own. Sorry, Steve, but it was just so fabulous. It was so good. So again, congratulations to her and
Yes,
Ryan.
congratulations. It was a blast.
Thank you. Thanks. It was a perfect day. It was great. Yeah.
What made it so special is her backstory. Not the beaten path, right, Sara? It was
Definitely not. I'm definitely probably a late in the gamer type of story, which I thought was kind of interesting for maybe other people to hear about and see a story that maybe if you're not having good luck and stuff, you could,
Relate to.
relate.
It's all it's all relative too. Like Carly said, there's no straight line to anything, right? Jobs, love, whatever. So tell us a little bit about your backstory here. So you met your husband on an app.
I did. So
Okay.
I had probably spent most of my 30s on and off dating apps. I would go until I couldn't take it anymore, then jump off for, a few months, wait for some more people to trickle in. And I would be going on probably at least 2, maybe 3 apps at a time. I had a lot of weird dates, dates
That could
that
be
didn't.
another podcast episode.
Exactly. I mean, there is craziness out there, and definitely beware of, your safety and stuff when it comes to that. At least let a friend and, a family member kind of know where you are. I didn't run into any situations like that, but there were definitely some times when I did feel just an uncomfortable feeling where I just wanted to kind of get out of there. And there were a few, I think I had one relationship that lasted maybe 6 months. It was one that I was definitely on the fence about and convincing myself throughout the whole thing, oh, this could work, it could work. But what it really came down to is I think a lot of people have people saying, you're too picky, you're this, and there's a problem with that. And yes, I was a picky person. I am, but I also knew I would rather be alone than be with somebody
wrong
that I
person.
feel like I'm settling for.
Absolutely. Good
Um,
for you.
yeah. So, I mean, I hit my 40th birthday. I was going through a time where I'm like, okay, gotta put this on hold for a little bit because I'm tapped out. I have to be honest. I was always curious what the girls were like on there because I feel like it's saturated with girls and not enough guys. So I decided to turn all of the app basically off or like mute them or however you deactivate them for a little while. I kept one going, Hinge, and the process in my head that I was using is I'm not going on it. I'm not going to search through the same people. But if somebody messages me, I will, read the messages that come through.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. So it was about a month of this. And so I hadn't been on at all in a month because I hadn't received any messages. So one Wednesday night, I got a message. I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is somebody I knew from high school. He's a few years older than me. I was very excited because I always thought he was adorable and cute and kind of mysterious. He was kind of one that kept to himself, and I was kind of surprised that he was on there. He had messaged me. We got talking, and the reason this was probably a little easier than, some other relationships is the fact that we knew each other. We knew we came from good families, we had a good background, we knew each other's friends, we probably crossed paths at parties and stuff, and it moved very quickly from there. I think he messaged Wednesday night, we went out Friday night, and then we went out on another date on Sunday. And, talking over the years and stuff while we were dating, we both kind of knew very early. He's a couple years older than me. We're in our 40s. We kind of have an idea of like what we're looking for in a person. Everything just clicked. And, that's kind of how it went.
Chills. Oh,
I
I
know.
love it.
Well,
I
and
just love
2,
this story.
I know the older you are though, if you think about it, like, you know what you want. You knew you knew what you were looking for and you weren't gonna be
Yeah.
picky, and I have to say, I was one of those friends too sometimes where I was like,
Yes. I
"Sarah,
I know.
Sarah, that's not a big deal. Like, who cares that that's what
Yeah.
he said or that's what he did? Like,
Yeah.
okay, don't worry," you know? So,
Yeah.
I apologize.
Oh, it's fine. No, it was all part of the journey. I mean, and, it was hard for me kind of in my 30s because that's when all of my closest circle of friends started to get married. Like, when I look at all of my friends around me, I mean, I'm pretty much all of them have been married for at least 10 years, and some of them more. And I just was, doing my thing. I had a relationship that kind of it took me a very long time to get over, longer than it should have, I'm sure, but for some people, some things just don't set well, and it takes them a while to, like, build up, confidence in feeling like they can get back out there. I was doing fine just going out and partying through my 20s. Everybody was doing a little dabbling dating. Then once, everybody started settling into relationships in their early 30s, they were getting married, and a lot of them have kids now as well, and I just it just wasn't what I was that's not where my mind was. I was just focusing on trying to maybe find somebody that would be a good life partner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it
Well,
was worth the wait,
Oh,
right?
I was just gonna say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Holy
We both
smokes.
say, "I wish we found each other, earlier," but I kinda don't wanna say that either because maybe it wouldn't have been the right time. Like, everything
Right.
just worked out so perfectly, and it was just meant to be, I think.
I
Yeah.
know. Let's rewind maybe even like 5 years ago, right?
Mhm.
I mean, you saw no light at the end of the tunnel.
I
You
definitely
were
did not. I was convinced I was gonna be alone probably forever, and it's an upsetting feeling because I mean, I can remember back in my early 20s, my biggest fear was I'm gonna be alone forever, and that was, the biggest thing, but once again, I'm not willing to just be with somebody to have company. I want that love where you feel like you're, just everything is so perfect and you're
Mhm.
so in love, and I'm very thankful that I have that now because it was a big block for me. It's probably the one thing I was missing and that I
yeah.
truly wanted. Yeah.
But I think once you opened yourself up to the possibility, you undid that block and you
Yeah.
allowed him to enter your energy, and he is just the perfect balance to you. I mean, I
You're
like I
right.
said, I
Yeah.
was more excited for your wedding than my own because I was so just bone deep happy for both of you, and you both glowed, and I've never seen you look happier or him, and you just complement each other in the best ways all around, you know?
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's
do. He's great.
he
He's
Well,
is.
also, he was married before.
he was.
So,
Yeah.
let's go into that a little bit too, because there's a lot of people who had maybe gotten married early or in their early 20s, and now, unfortunately, maybe relationships haven't worked out or there's divorces and stuff, and that can be scary too, to be looking for new love.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I can't really speak for him on as far as that went. I mean, he did in time what he thought was right for his life path. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them, and it was probably hard for him to go back to the drawing board too because he's also, he's in his 40s and looking for somebody to spend the rest of his life with, and it's tough. And since he already went through it, planning another one was interesting because this is my first marriage. I had asked for opinions. He's like, I want whatever makes you happy. He's like, whatever is going to make you feel the best on the day and things like that, which is great. But I also wanted him to give a little more, like, do you have an opinion on this at all? And he
Yeah.
really is just so laid back and so chill. It was the easiest wedding to plan. I was just very relaxed and like my girls and stuff, they would message me, what do you want us to do with your hair? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, just do whatever you want with or like shoes and stuff. What color shoes do you want us to wear? I'm like, get whatever shoes you feel comfortable in. I just wanted them to feel as pretty and as good on that day as I did. But he had very little. He picked the suit style and stuff that he wanted, which obviously was exactly what I wanted because we very much mesh in that way.
It was beautiful. You did an exceptional job.
Thanks.
And you're not lying when you say she was literally one of the most chillest brides I have ever met in my life, to the point where I was like, is she, like, secretly hating everything? Like, it was just it was a very strange turn of events because I was used to, like, bridezillas, and you gotta do your nails like this, your hair like this, you gotta bleach your teeth, you gotta do da 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 da. And I was like, "What do you need me to do? Like I was like a scared little puppy, and she was like, "Oh my
No.
god, however you wanna do your hair."
Yeah.
It was great, and it was an honor to be there with you.
Yes, and of course, I adore you and love Emmy too. She was there. She did hair, makeup. She made me look gorgeous.
That
Yes,
was
she did.
easy, very easy task.
She
Yeah,
But
was
so
incredible.
it's exciting to hear though too, like, for people that there can be love a couple times around, right? Like, and
yes,
these apps do work. I know many people who have been married off of these apps. They're
so do
not
I.
just
Yeah,
necessarily hookup apps, and all different ones, from Match to Hinge, obviously.
yeah,
So I think that's really cool too, because a lot of people aren't going out. I mean, obviously we go out. We go out to dinner, we go to the bars, we do all that kind of stuff too, right? But I mean,
but, like, as you get older, you just wanna be warm and cozy at home, and, I
Yeah.
can remember my brother at one point telling me, "No one's gonna walk up your front porch, knock on the door, and be like, 'Does anybody in here want a date?'" And, like, I know, I get that, but, like, the apps, they're not easy. They're not easy.
I know. I often think, like, how would I ever handle that? I don't think I could. I would be a nervous wreck going on a date,
Oh, it's terrible.
right?
I'm
Like,
not gonna sugarcoat it. It's pretty nerve-wracking.
I can't even imagine.
need
I
a
mean,
chaperone, someone to come with me. I don't even like to go to the
yeah,
grocery store by myself, so
I
I
know.
have major problems. I would need, like, a friend.
I
Yeah,
think that was part of, like, that, me meeting somebody as well is that, like, I like my own company. Like, I
Yeah.
think I like what I do. I like how I spend my time, and I almost got maybe even a little too comfortable being by
yeah,
myself, even though I did want to find somebody. That's another reason why I just didn't feel like I was gonna settle.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you didn't, because I mean, it all happened the way that it was supposed to,
It Mhm.
Every trial, tribulation, every bump in the road led you to the perfect path that
Mhm.
you are on. And, like you said, you wish you do and you don't wish that you met him earlier. But at the same sense, like all the experience that he gained through that previous marriage
Yeah,
or what he's been through in his life without you makes the special little connection that you have now, you know?
yeah.
How how long from the time that you guys started on the app, like, started talking to, like, the progression
Yeah.
of things? Like,
Oh, so fast. It almost feels unreal. Like, we
hmm,
moved very fast. I mean, this April is only gonna be 3 years together total for us.
But
So
that's still a long time, like
oh, yeah, I mean, it but at this age, it's enough time to know if you wanna spend your to me,
right.
mhm,
in my opinion, it's enough time to know if, you found the person who's gonna support you, be there for you, and we've already been through stuff together that we know are things that could probably rock a relationship. We're so solid. Like we get through it so relaxed in the best way possible. I just know he'll never hurt me. He'll never do anything to, question anything how I feel. Like it's a feeling I didn't think I was ever going to have. It's just so I can't even describe it. I really can't.
Yeah,
So it
That's
was,
awesome.
very quick. We turned it around. I mean, we were engaged February, this past February, and married by October.
I love it. I mean, life is so short too. Why not just
Yeah,
experience it and make it so that everyone's family members who are here get to experience it too without waiting 7 years? Like, what's the point,
right,
you know?
exactly. That's my point. And like, since we are older, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not like when you were in your early 30s and there were still a lot of people still single, because right now we're in that age where a lot of people are still married. But
Mhm.
Mhm.
you also have that 50% of people who unfortunately are going to be getting divorces.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're in that
Yeah,
little section of time before everyone starts to get divorced and after everybody got married.
Mm.
exactly.
It's a very hard time to navigate.
There's always going to be that train of people that I feel too who, they're going to be getting divorced even later because they're keeping it together, they're holding it together for kids. Like once those kids leave the nest, or you're back to just each other again, and maybe things won't be the same as they were as when you first met and you didn't have kids. So that's a whole new flock of people that could possibly be single again, and looking to, there's always going to be some sort of flow of single people going.
Mhm. So
Unfortunately, that's the name of the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that brings up a whole other perspective of yours that is typically, you know, not not wrong in any means, but totally different from my life,
Mm,
where I married kind of young and we jumped right into kids, where you're taking a whole different approach
yeah.
and you got married a little bit later and you're deciding not to have kids, which I
Yeah.
think is like very honorable.
I think now, I mean, people right now are having kids a lot later. They're waiting to their later 30s, and that's great for them. But honestly, I I've never had that overwhelming feeling like I want to have kids. I knew
Mhm.
pretty early. I would say at least probably my early 30s. I knew it's just not for me. It's not for me, which is not to say that I don't love kids, because I adore kids. I love them. Uh, I'm so close with some of my friends' kids on a personal level, and just getting to know them and watch them grow is, it's wonderful for me to watch. But for me as a person, it's just not something that I've ever had the overwhelming feeling to have. I mean, of course, there are things in my mind that I think about in terms of kids, well, who's going to take care of me when I'm older? Who's going to look after me? Like, but
Oh,
there's
Yeah.
those are real thoughts that you have, because I mean, we look at ourselves now. Our parents are starting to age, and they're
yeah.
going to start leaning on us a lot to take care of them. And it's like, well, who am I going to lean on when I'm old?
Oh, my boys will take care of you.
I'm
I
Don't
know
you
they
worry, you
would.
got a lot of little people.
Yeah.
I know,
You got a
which
lot
is
of little people.
which is wonderful, but that's also not a reason to just have kids.
Right. No,
Fair.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And, it's tough now. I mean, I'm so up close and personal with what some of my friends are going through with kids, and it is so, so hard. And I don't have the desire to go through it.
I think for you personally, you're too anxious of a person
I think that's
t-
true. Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
because I have anxiety about my kids and like letting them drive with people and I just think you are better off not going through that because,
Yeah.
you know, it's scary. It's so scary that saying how like a part of your heart is like wandering
Wandering
off.
off. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I get really nervous to think about college and, like, them going away to college and
Yeah.
starting to live their life and, like, are they gonna survive these experiences, you know? That was my
Mhm.
quote in senior year. My dad always said, "Survive the experience," and did I mean, I took it to heart somewhat, but I was still pretty wild, and my kids I just get so nervous, you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
I as I watch some of my closest friends be moms and stuff, I it amazes me, like, it is no small task, like, I'm floored by what they give of themselves to make kids happy, to keep them entertained, and it's a little bit different now because, you know, the kids don't wanna go out and play in the woods anymore. I mean, there's so much around, like, video games and TV and watching your phone. They're so much more advanced than we were. It's a little scary, and I always have, like, these feelings too of, like, I have people in my life, a couple of friends who aren't blessed with, the ability to have children, and I always look at myself and I have this feeling like you are capable of having children, and it's almost like I feel this not obligation, but, um,
Like guilt, kind
like
of?
guilt, exactly, like, you have the physical ability to do this, this beautiful thing, and you have people that you care so much about who are, either struggling with it or just cannot, and it makes me feel really bad, but also I can't do something for that reason once again,
Right.
like
Yeah,
No. And
absolutely.
you can't compare your story to others. Just because you are able to and your body is able to doesn't mean that it's right for you.
yeah,
And you knowing that and labeling it and accepting it and, you know, that takes a lot of courage because you bring up a great point. Like, is that like the ultimate goal of a woman is to get married and have kids? Like, no, no. I mean, look at all the people who chase after careers who have never had kids.
Right.
It's every story is different and everybody's path is different. And you should never hold on to guilt just because you're able to, you know?
yeah.
Well, and you have the ability now being wiser. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? If you had stayed in that other relationship, maybe you would have had a kid at a young age and that wouldn't have been the right path for you. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
just because we're women doesn't mean we have to have a
Uh,
baby.
yeah.
It's apples to oranges.
Mhm.
Everybody's life is different. You can't feel guilty for choosing what's right for you.
Yeah, and a small other thing I wanted to mention, in which this is very personal opinion of mine, and it might not ring true for a lot of people, but when I have friends who have kids and I'm dying to hang out with them, like, I haven't seen them in a while, invite us over to hang out with your kids. Like, I want to get on the floor. I want to like do stuff. Like,
Girl, you're coming
I
over on
know.
Friday.
I'm free on Sunday
but it's like
afternoon, so
it's so fun because I have a very kind of childlike personality anyway. Like, I like to do things that are, like, kinda kiddish, and my sense of humor is a
you're
little
silly, yeah.
it's a little yeah. So, my friend that has 2 girls, I mean, they have the wackiest personalities, and they are hysterical, and they're so cool. They're so individual, and just their personalities, they're not the typical girls that I think of who are just very, into, like, hair and nails. I mean, they're into, like, making comic books and doing little plays, and
Oh,
I
I love
love
that.
this stuff. I think I got them, like, an indoor tent one at Christmas, and I'm getting in the tent. Like, we're putting the tent up, we're getting in the tent, we're doing stuff inside. It's just fun. Personally, for me, I wanna hang out with you. We can chit-chat and stuff in between, but I wanna hang out with your kids too.
Well, that's nice to
Which
hear
is
because
so cool, yeah.
I never thought about it like that. Because we always try and make plans, right? But I'm
Yeah.
always like stressing to get a babysitter. And it is hard it is hard to make that time because you're prioritizing date night and all these things, but it's so refreshing to hear that you wanna come over. I mean, you can come over once a week and do pizza night with us and
Yeah, it's awesome.
play
I mean,
bingo and
I
whatever
love it.
else.
Right.
And Ryan is amazing with kids too. He's better at it than I am. It's hard too, like, I'll also get kinda like, "Well, what's good for you? What do you got?" I'm like, "Whatever is good for us." Don't depend on the single people to give you times that are good for us because we're pretty much always available unless there's some sort of family event that we have to go to. You guys figure out for you what's the best. Like, if we're going out to do an adult activity, I don't know, whatever it is, and the kids can't come or something like that, you guys tell us. Like, we're so flexible, and I know that it makes you feel good to kinda put that offer out, like, "Oh, well, what's good for you guys?" Like, anything's good.
It
Yeah.
all works. Well, I
It's
think that that's fair too because there's so in, our group of friends, like, there are people who don't have kids or just had kids a little later in life, so, you know, for many years, they would be like, "Yeah, I'm happy. I'm coming over with food. I'm in my pajamas. I
Yeah.
just wanna see the kids for a little bit. Then when you put them to bed, we can be together."
I mean, even football Sundays, you're sitting around watching football, the kids are gonna be there, let's just all sit around and do
Right.
whatever. It's just being in the company of people that you wanna be in company with.
Yeah, that's so
yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah, that is a good take. Do you feel like your any of your friendships did change because they had kids and you didn't, and like they didn't try and kind of blend the two together, or do you think everyone's kind of pretty much open to just making it work, but just it's difficult too, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I wouldn't say that our friendships have changed. I mean, I've been friends with my core friends for, I mean, probably upwards of, like, 30 years,
Yeah.
which is also a phenomenon of, like, living in this town. For some reason, everybody has friends that you've had since, like, you were a very small child. Um, but yeah, I mean, the frequency has changed, obviously,
Hmm.
but that's getting older as well. It's like, you hit a certain point and the bars are just like, you don't even wanna go to the bars anymore, so it turns into,
Yeah.
maybe like a dinner or like a
Mhm.
something like that here and there, and then, my close girlfriends, I'll just say, "Oh, I'm coming up to hang out," like
Right.
Mhm.
we'll do whatever. I mean, the
I'm showing
kids,
up.
whatever.
Yeah.
Friendships have changed for different reasons, not necessarily due to kids, just, growing apart. I mean, things get different. You start to prioritize different things in your lives, and, that's okay.
Yeah.
Even if something like that did happen and it changed because of friendship, so that's just the way it's supposed to go. I mean, you just cherish the time that you had, appreciate the times that you had with each other. You're not saying you're not going to be friends anymore. You're just getting comfortable with the fact that
Things are different.
things are different now. Yeah.
Yeah. Any advice for us, because I'm turning 40 very, very soon, and
Yeah.
Emily will be, next year.
Yeah.
She's still a little baby, but
Fun.
I am. I'm
Okay.
the baby of the group, and I'm gonna hold on to that. It was hard when you guys were 16 and I wasn't, 21,
yeah,
but now that
true.
I'm turning 39, I'm
Oh,
doing just
I
fine.
but I have to say, like, I was kind of bummed turning 30. That was a hard one for me, but 40, I'm excited. I don't know about you, Sarah, but around 38, my balls dropped.
yeah. Oh,
Still waiting for my boobs to come in, but my
Yeah,
it's
but my
awesome.
balls dropped
I
around
love it.
38.
My
And
balls dropped a little sooner as far as that goes.
yeah, I'm a late bloomer,
Um,
clearly,
but
late
I love
bloomer.
that. I appreciate that about you. You
I
finally coming
grew a
into your
pair.
own.
Yeah, they
That's good.
grew and they dropped. And I have boundaries and I have
Yeah.
like self-worth, and I just have, I don't know, like I'm just not dealing with the bullshit
Mhm.
anymore, And is that like typical when you turn 40? Did that happen to
Listen,
you, or like
that happened to me way before 40. I
yeah.
mean, I just I stopped spending time on things that didn't feel good, and, unfortunately, people that didn't feel good, and, I mean, right now, I've gotta say, turning 40, obviously, for me, for, Ryan, just him in general, I mean, so far, the 40s have been
Your best,
my
yeah.
Right.
best.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have a wonderful, amazing group of friends that I surround myself with. So incredibly just lucky to have the friends that I have. I mean, I could really that's one of my biggest treasures is my friends. And feeling the love back from them as well. It's
Mhm.
something that's you can't be measured, and it's
Yeah, you
something
can't put a price on that.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Um gosh, I don't know if I have any advice for you guys, but I mean, don't even think of the number. I mean, really, honestly, the 40s have been great to me so far, and I hear that from a lot of people, so
I think 40s is where it's at. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think you go through your 30s kind of like going through the trials and whatever, but like 40 is kind of rediscovering who you were and loving those parts of you,
Mhm.
you know? Like, I'm getting back into my creative era and
Right.
I just don't give a shit, you know? I mean, I do in, like, the nice, peaceful ways, you know? Wanna spread kindness and
Yeah,
positivity, but, like, I just don't care about the people's opinions. I
yeah,
don't you know, because it's like at
Right.
the end of the day, you go to bed, you can sleep at night, you know
yeah,
you're a good person, you make right choices, like, but their
You're being true to
opinions
yourself.
yeah, and their opinions really don't affect me anymore,
doesn't it feel so
and
good, though?
it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so empowering, and, like, I
Mhm.
just don't want people to be fearful of 40s because I am excited. Like, I can't wait to be able to say, like, "I'm 40,"
Yeah.
you know? Like, I
Oh,
4 is my favorite
Carly.
I know, 4 is my favorite number, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I feel like all of 40s is just, like, my decade, you
So you
know?
still have, like, 4 years till you're 44, and then that will be, like, the best year, something big,
The ultimate
the
year.
ultimate year.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm excited.
I love that.
I'm excited. Well, I mean, any other, like, tidbits to share? I mean, like I said, your story is pretty much the epitome of, like, you just never know what tomorrow will bring, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
And everybody I guess everybody's different, I was the biggest negative
Never
thing.
say never,
Right,
okay?
exactly.
Because we used to
Mhm.
say that too,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
"Sarah, don't say that."
Yes. Yes, I got a lot of that, Sarah. I got a lot of, "You're ridiculous. You're not gonna be alone forever." And I'm like, "But when you're in it and you're doing
Yeah, of
it and
course.
things aren't coming true, it does feel a little bit like that." But, now I have a couple of friends who are single, and I'm
You're
giving them what
doing it.
they were giving me.
You're being the hype girl. You are hyping
Yeah.
Yeah.
them like, "This can happen.
Yeah,
It
it will
can."
happen.
And, it's Carly and I always say, you have to, like, put it out there. You have to be
Yes.
positive and right? But sometimes that is hard to do, and you can give it, like, "Okay, I'm gonna get on the app." That's gonna be, like, a little bit of my effort, right? But
Yep.
also, like, it might happen in the grocery store or at Home Goods or I don't know, who knows? But, like, you have to give it a little bit too. You have to
Mhm.
put a little effort in. And
I
so
mean,
even though you had given up a little bit, you still left that little window
little
open.
door open. Yep.
You
Oh,
left that little wee Alice in Wonderland door and
yep.
Yeah.
eh, sent a
Yep.
message through the keyhole.
You
Yeah.
got
The
in
universe is gonna give you what you need
when you need it,
when you
you
Need it,
need
know?
it.
exactly.
Exactly, and my when was a lot longer than the typical when.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it's all divine timing, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
Such
I
a
love
good
it.
story.
I have a quote that kind of wraps up what we've been talking about. This is unknown. I could not find the writer to this one, but it goes, "Everyone's journey is different. Don't compare your path to anyone else's." And that's, it is. We all are on our own individual life path.
Uh-huh.
So never for a second think that yours is wrong. It will always be right for you. No matter which path you take, it's right for you and no one else's. So appreciate what you have. And if it feels right, do it. If it doesn't feel right, trust yourself. You know yourself better than anyone else, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
sharing your story with us and your experiences because it's hard to be vulnerable and to share all that. So
yeah.
thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. This was so fun. I loved it.
Good.
Well, maybe you could come back again. That would be
Yeah.
so fun to have you back. I
I
love you, Sarah. You're such
love
a
you.
special person, and
Thanks,
your
guys.
story will hopefully inspire others not to give up because you just never know what tomorrow will bring.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for today. As always, we hope you have a really good week and keep it good.